Coming up on this edition of Out of the Blue from Middle Tennessee State University, we talk about MTSU's dual enrollment program, which allows high school students to take university courses, and in many cases at their own high school for free. We introduce you to Customs, MTSU's orientation for new freshmen and transfers, and talk about how it provides them with information and insider tips on having a great first semester. And we preview the work by our faculty in our Jones College of Business to reimagine course offerings in the Department of Management, offering options that are career-focused and designed for the future. I'm Andrew Oppmann, and this is Out of the Blue. Welcome to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Oppmann. MTSU's dual enrollment program allows high school students to take university courses, and in many cases at their own high school, for free thanks to a state grant. Those courses can count towards their high school graduation and give them a head start at their first year at the university. Here to tell us more about this great program is Casey Brown from our University College. Casey, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Andrew. Glad to be here.
I cannot believe this is your first appearance on Out of the Blue.
It is, somehow after all these years.
And you've eluded me long enough because we're going to talk about dual enrollment, which I consider to be the best investment and affordable investment in higher education. But let's start from the very beginning. If I didn't know anything about dual enrollment and you're saying, hey, have you considered dual enrollment for your high schooler, what would it mean?
Sure, I love getting to tell this story. Dual enrollment essentially is the opportunity for high school students to take full-fledged college courses through MTSU, earn both high school and college credit, and a lot of times that's at no out-of-pocket tuition expense to the student.
I mean, you're exactly right. That's why it's such a great bargain, and it makes so much sense if you're a high school student aiming towards college. How many college credits could I get through a program like this?
So most students are going to finish our program with 15 credit hours, 5 classes, which equates to, as you know, about a full semester of college. Now we have students that go beyond that as well. We've got students that have finished our program, graduated high school, and gone on to earn 30 credits, 45. We've actually had a couple of students earn up to 60 college credits.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And the state of Tennessee, recognizing the value of this program, has a very generous grant that makes this so affordable. Can you walk through that?
Yes, so about 8 years ago, the state of Tennessee decided to include dual enrollment as one of its main initiatives as part of then Governor Haslam's Drive to 55 program, seeing the value of students coming into college having already earned credit, making it more likely they would continue on and eventually finish in a timely fashion. And so at that time, the state decided to expand the dual enrollment grant. Now this is not a need-based grant. This is not competitive, anything like that. Essentially, if a student meets the requirements for admission to our program, they're also going to meet the requirements of the grant. And what the grant does is it covers a student's first 5 courses in terms of tuition and fees, allowing them to pay nothing except for the application fee to MTSU.
That's incredible. So I really want to stress to everybody, particularly those who may not be familiar, these are college level courses, correct? I mean, you've got to be a capable high school student ready to do college work in this environment. Absolutely.
And that is something that we discuss at length with students and parents as well, since they're a part of this conversation as well. We have some trepidation at times from students initially. They want to know, can I handle this? Is this going to be too much for me? A lot of the students that participate in our program are also involved in a lot of other activities. But what we find is about 90% of our students earn a 3.0 grade point average or higher in their dual enrollment coursework. So the message we send to them is, yes, this is a college course, but you are also capable of doing this, and that's something they carry with them into that freshman year. This isn't just a course that you're taking with MTSU's name attached to it. This is an opportunity to really experience what it's like to be an MTSU student, whether that's coming to campus and performing an experiment in our brand new science building, or whether that's coming and taking part in our creative writing project with our English department, or just coming to one of our sporting events. We want students to know that they are a part of the MTSU community as soon as they become a part of our program.
And they get an MTSU email address, they get the same ability, like you said, to go to football games, basketball games, take part in all the things here at MTSU, which is really important. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. I'm interested. And this is July. School starts in August. What do I need to do first?
The first thing I'd always recommend a student do is reach out to our office. We have 4 full-time dedicated staff members that work directly with students as well as our high schools. But if a student were to call our office or to email us or visit our website, they would be answered promptly by one of our staff who could kind of make an assessment of what they need to do on a case-by-case basis. And many times it's going to start with completing an MTSU admissions application. And that's another great aspect of the program, is that, you know, the college application process, the enrollment process, can seem very daunting. And by doing this as a dual enrollment student, it's kind of a dry run for when you're applying to college the next time around, and there's a comfort level there that I don't think can be understated. So we're actually walking students through the admissions application, the state dual enrollment grant application you referenced. We're getting all of their documentation in, we're helping them select their courses, and then once the semester starts, they're not rid of us. We are following up with them at midterms and throughout the semester, making sure that they are successful. If they need anything, any kind of resource or connection to one of our resources on campus, we're providing that information to them. And we really like to close the loop. We administer a student survey at the end of each semester to kind of gauge whether the students feel like this program is a benefit to them, whether it's meeting their needs, and if there are any ways we can improve. And so really from the time they first start having this kernel of an idea about going to college early to the time they graduate high school, we want to be with them.
That's fantastic. Give me that website address real fast.
It's www.mtsu.edu/dual enrollment, DUAL enrollment.
All one word?
All one word.
Casey Brown, thanks for everything you're doing with dual enrollment and also for University College. Great work.
Thank you, Andrew.
And we'll be right back.
I am True Blue.
As a member of this diverse community,
I am a valuable contributor
to its progress and success.
I am engaged in the life of this community.
I'm a recipient
and a giver.
I am a listener and a speaker.
I am honest in word and deed.
I'm committed to reason, not violence.
I am a learner.
Now and forever.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
True Blue.
Do you want more from your college experience? At Middle Tennessee State University, that's exactly what you get. More majors, more opportunities, more guaranteed scholarships. Up to $32,000 over 4 years. MTSU, Tennessee's University of Opportunities.
The Jennings A. Jones College of Business at Middle Tennessee State University is the #1 producer of business talent in the greater Nashville area. Our nationally ranked programs and state-of-the-art facilities offer a world-class education at an affordable price. The exclusive partnership of Jones College with Dale Carnegie Training Worldwide equips our graduates with the soft skills they need to succeed. Jones College of Business. It delivers an education for the real world.
So many men and women that have served that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Welcome back to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman. Customs, MTSU's orientation for new freshmen and transfer students, provides them with information and insider tips on having a great first semester at our university. Here to tell us more about the program is Gina Poff, our Director of New Student and Family Programs, and Alex Hamilton, one of our student orientation advisors. Gina, welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Alex, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I am so excited to talk about customs. There are so many things I'm proud of at this university, but I think our new student orientation for incoming freshmen and transfers is just fantastic. So, first question, everybody wants to know, why is it called customs?
It's a really good question. Years and years ago, it was sort of formed, and the thought process was, let's talk about bringing students into our world. Let's bring them in, and similar to when you go study, when you go abroad and you go through customs there, they want to look at your documents and make sure that you've got everything in line and that they are guiding you into the new country or wherever that you are. So we use the theme, and it's been steadfast for about 8 years now that we use countries as the way we group them together. They're grouped by their majors, but it allows us to kind of have a theme.
It's our thing.
It's our thing. It's our thing. Their passports are important to us, that we get them in and out. So
it's our thing. So describe customs at MTSU. What does it involve, and what's a typical experience like?
We kind of see it two ways. We see the social aspect as being very important. So we want them to be introduced and network with other students in their same major, some of them in other majors. They get to work with and be guided around by a mentor, a student that we call SOA, Student Orientation Assistant. And I guess probably the largest part is the academic focus. We want to make sure that they are advised, that they've got they're on the right track to scheduling their classes and fulfilling the requirements of their major, or finding a major if they're unsure. This is a great way to explore different majors, different areas of the university, and so the purpose of them coming to customs is to kind of have that special time devoted to making sure they've taken care of all the checkpoints to get into the system, and that we allow them to explore and be excited about being a student here.
Alex, of course, I love the SOAs. You're one of our SOAs, and when Gina talked about mentors, I love watching you guys in action. You're always wearing the blue polo shirts. You're such energy. What got you interested in becoming one of the SOAs, and what do you like about it?
I actually heard about it looking through emails and seeing the information on the website, and I wanted to be able to give back an experience that I was able to get when I was starting my MTSU journey. I think it's pretty cool to be able to hear from somebody who's going through the journey currently and hearing their perspective about the university. They're kind of like a college survival guide. So hearing from somebody that's like going through the same thing is pretty awesome, to being able to feel comfortable about starting a new journey, and I just wanted to give that same experience back.
They ask you the kind of questions they're not going to ask you, or they're not going to ask me. They really want to know the story behind things. What are some of the things that they're asking you about?
Some of the things they ask me about is, of course, parking, like getting advice about that. And I'm honest with them. I've made some mistakes with that, but I want to make sure they don't repeat the same mistakes with it. So highlighting to where, giving them advice. You can use our MT mobile app to find different colored parking spots, for example. We got bus routes if you need to go from one end of campus to another. So for example, with that, just giving them advice on how to get through the college experience, and telling them my story so then they can feel comfortable, like, oh, they've made mistakes too. So it's not so much that we're above them. It's like more like we're going through the same thing, and we want to make sure that you guys are giving the advice to be able to like get through it, so you're learning from like somebody else.
And that's what really makes Alex and her colleagues valuable, right? It's that relatable source of advice.
It is. We're more than halfway through the summer with customs, and honestly, the heart of the program are the SOAs. They are the ones that provide the connection for the students. While they sit quietly and listen to our presentations from administrators, what they want to know is how that information is lived by our student. And hopefully they're reaping the benefits on the other end as a leader to perfect their skills, to their communication skills, their problem solving skills. They really rise to the occasion on learning how to make things happen when things don't always go right.
Absolutely.
And how to work with students from diverse populations, and really just kind of allow our new students to watch and grow themselves and find their place here.
I want to brag on you.
Okay.
My first guest on the program was Casey Brown. He runs dual enrollment. He knew you were going to be coming up in the next segment, and he said, Gina is responsible for my career in higher education.
Well, that's
because
very
he
nice.
was an SOA, and there came a point where admissions said we need some recruiters, and Gina goes, yeah, you got to think about Casey Brown. That's got to give you a lot of satisfaction, right? That you've been doing this long enough to help people find careers in higher education as well.
Sure. I do take pride in that, and I would love to say it's all me, but honestly, they are fantastic people that strive to, and they do have that service. So, there's a lot of people in admissions and in Greek life and in other areas of campus that have been SOAs, and that makes me really proud.
So how do I become an SOA? Where do I go to find out if this is like you did, Alex, was this a good fit for me? How do I find that out?
We start application processes in October, so we start off very early. So in October, we'll be searching for our applicants. When they apply, if they're selected, they'll know that before they go home for Christmas break.
Wow.
We start training with them in January. So again, there's too much information for them to take in just a couple of weeks. So the entire spring semester, we spend, and Alex is like, yes, every single week. It's just very much
January.
Just like a class.
It's kind of like a class, basically, and you gotta as a student orientation assistant too, you need to make sure you study material like you're studying for classwork, so then you can share the information to our students in the summer for sure.
Wow, do you find your friends who aren't going through customs coming to you asking you all sorts of questions?
Oh,
Could
yes.
you know things?
Definitely, they'll ask me about different things happening throughout the year and everything. So it feels like I feel like a great resource to them, highlighting that even though I'm learning as we go. And I have done this for 2 years now. And so I get asked questions too, you're relearning the information, how do you feel about that? But we learn something new every year. I mean, we learn new things, for example, about aerospace, for example.
That's right.
And so it's growing field, so we're learning new things. So I feel like, learning, constant learning is really important, so because things are changing every day.
Wow. So, okay, before we leave, how do I find out more information? I know we've talked about the web, but there's some websites I can go to, right? Where do I go?
The Customs website, which is mtsu.edu/customs, will have our application process, the timelines, the requirements, and all of that on there. That'll be updated, just after the summer. We've got our staff for this year, and so they're doing a great job.
Yes, they
but
are.
We're always looking for somebody that's willing to step out and try something new and learn for themselves and gain some new skills that they might not have felt comfortable doing. We have several international students on our staff this year, and they are rocking it. They are doing such a great job because not only is the university new to them, but so is their environment. So they're really gaining a lot, and it's great to watch our native students kind of embrace them and share with them what it's like to be at MTSU, period.
Alex and Gina, I'm so very proud of the work you do. You help make MTSU accessible and comfortable to all of our newcomers, and the work you do makes a big difference. Thanks for doing it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
We do it.
The stars come to Middle Tennessee State University, and students come here to become stars no matter what they pursue.
We do it.
We're the only college of media and entertainment in the world, just outside the heart of Nashville.
We do it.
Mic check, 1, 2, everybody listen. When you do it like this, ain't no competition. I'm talking B.I.G., VIP. Treat them like a front row seat and make them pay attention. If I shoot for the 3, then I ain't never missing. Cranking up the degrees like I was in the kitchen. Can't lose, got too much to prove. And when you do it all, it get too hard to do.
Our curriculum and facilities are cutting edge, and our relationships with industry leaders give students an edge over the competition.
Check it out.
You can get real-world experience with degrees in recording industry, media arts, journalism and strategic media, and more. Media and entertainment at Middle Tennessee State University. Learn to shine.
Welcome back to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman. Faculty have reimagined the management and leadership major in the Jones College of Business, joining other programs that are career-focused, designed for the future, and focus on learning by doing. Here to tell us about it is Dr. Leigh Ann Clark, a professor in the Jones College of Business. Dr. Clark, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you very much. I'm so glad to be here.
You've been working so hard for the last couple of years to what you described as reimagine the offerings of the Department of Management in the Jones College of Business. Can you walk our viewers through what you've done and how that has resulted in these changes?
Sure, and it's been a team effort. Our department sat down. One thing we teach our students is you've always got to be evolving with the times and looking at the environment and changing what you're offering. And so the Department of Management, we've been doing that for several years now. Supply chain was one of the first ones that started as a concentration within management and has pulled out as its own degree because the market, that's one thing that the market is wanting. We've done that as well with the business innovation and entrepreneurship degree that is growing. It seems to be answering something that students in the market are needing. And so it was time to look at the management degree, one of the oldest degrees that's been around for the Jones College of Business. So we took over 2 years to look at what the market wanted, to look at what we were offering, and to evolve that product for students. Now, part of that, what it took was going and looking what employers were asking for, and they were seeking soft skills. They want people to be able to communicate, to think, problem solve, to critically think, to solve conflicts. And so we looked at what employers were demanding and looked at what we were offering and have fundamentally changed how we approach the management degree.
Wow. And when you talked about assessing what the market needs, talking to prospective employers, talking to your alums. Can you go through that process?
Sure. Part of what we did with a degree like management, which is very general, is we looked at some of the national data. There are different associations that survey employers all the time and also survey college graduates to see what skills they think they need who have been career ready. And from that, the top skills said leadership, critical thinking, problem solving, communication. We also looked at what the data was out there locally. Our own BERC, the Business Economic Research Center at MTSU, was surveying employers, also asking them what skills they see that they need. And leadership was number 2 in that survey. As well, there's a recent Forbes article that talks about with artificial intelligence and how it's going to fundamentally change how we do work. Managers and leaders need to know how to work with humans. And so we're the machines, I guess, right? And all these technologies are going to do so much of what someone used to do, assigning the task or watching the hours. Now we need people that have emotional intelligence, that can read a room, right? Can understand when their employees, something's going on and they need to interact and communicate, where an artificial intelligence being, at least today, right, can't do that. That employers are needing students that are graduating, employees that can do those things.
Wow. I guess this is elevator speech time, but maybe a little bit longer. Let's talk about the value proposition.
Sure.
Why management and leadership at MTSU?
Of all the different degrees that you could pick here, this is why I think this one is a good match for a lot of people. One, like I've said, the world is changing and the skill sets that people need are really focused on those human skill sets. Okay, a lot of people teach about leadership, but we focus on how to do leadership. And so what does that mean? One, we used a curriculum that comes from 40 years of research. I know I've given you 30, but it's actually, they're approaching 40 years of research by Kusners and Posner. They have written, this is the 7th edition of the Leadership Challenge. In this, they focus on how to do the behaviors of the best leaders. So it's not theory about leadership, which a lot of people are like, oh, theory does me no good. This is talking about how do I behave, how do I do the actions that will make me the best leader. And so there are 5 practices within that. It's model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. That sounds really easy, but within there's specific things to do as well. And so related to that, for example, in our class, we added into the class a leadership class into the core management degree. They do things like with enabling others to act. I had a student who was working a server at one of the local restaurants and challenged all of them to enable somebody to act. Well, he thought about a coworker who had been wanting to be a bartender to learn how to do that. It was something that he often would get charged with doing. And so with this assignment, he took the time to figure out a time to train her and enable her to learn some of the bartending skills, which then allowed her to make more money. By giving her that chance and making it part of what he did at the work, that benefited her. So these are like small things, but they think about their lives of where they can put these practices into motion.
One of the things that Jones College prides itself on is sort of a mantra of learn by doing. And I noticed in the materials you showed me in advance of our talk that there are some wonderful opportunities you offer up for students regarding an Innovative Leader Challenge. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So one of the practices is to challenge the process, and a part of that is something called outsiting. Outsiting is you are looking beyond your own world and bringing other ideas to kind of be a catalyst for change. Change your thinking. And so the Innovative Leader Challenge, we piloted it in the spring, and what we did was we asked students we had a case. It was a person who was wanting to open a new kind of a healthy sort of fast food restaurant opportunity locally in Middle Tennessee. The other challenge is, there's not as many people to hire right now. Local businesses have a hard time getting people to work. And so those were two of the cornerstones of the challenge, and students were asked to tackle that, but to be innovative and challenge the status quo in doing so. We had 16 entries, and the best one, we had a winner that was 3 gentlemen, and I will mention their names here, Tyler Martin, Adam Curry, and Jagger Evans. And they came up with, it was a pizza healthy food idea, but what the judges liked about the proposal is it talked about a positive work environment. It talked about employees really being, and again, these were most likely younger students or younger people, being involved in the business. So whether that was coming up with menu ideas or developing a relationship with their bosses, that was important to them. And those were things that we were teaching in class that are important to young employees today of what they're looking for.
Well, that sounds fantastic. Dr. Clark, thank you for coming on the show and sharing all these great innovations that you're doing in the Department of Management. I really appreciate all the work by the Jones College of Business.
Well, thank you so much. And if people have questions, they want to learn more about this particular program, you can go to mtsu.edu/management. And that'll take you to the management department, and you can learn about all the programs that we have to offer.
I love when my guests plug their website. Good job. Thank you, Dr. Clark.
Sure. Thank you.
And this does wrap up this edition of Out of the Blue. A reminder, you can find news about the campus 24 hours a day by going to our website, mtsunews.com. You can also find additional special content on our social platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Broadcasting from the Center for Educational Media, I'm Andrew Ottman. Stay safe, stay on course, and remain true blue.